Uhuru.
Uhuru.
Uhuru. Welcome everybody. Right. Yeah, welcome everybody to our 2023 Give St. Louis Day webinar. My name is Len, and I am the St. Louis chair of the Uhuru Solidarity Movement, which is an organization that works under the leadership of the Uhuru movement. And I'm joined here by Rage tonight. And Rage is the One Africa, One Nation market manager and the Midwest region coordinator of the African National Women's Organization. And we will be your MCs for this evening. And, this is a really exciting event tonight. This is a webinar called Give St. Louis Day, a fundraiser for Uhuru wa Kulea African Women's Health Center. And for those who don't know, Uhuru wa Kulea translates to freedom to nurture in Swahili. And that's exactly what this health center is all about. And our goal tonight is to raise the funds needed to get this health center on the ground built. And you can do that right now by going to givestlday.org/Black Power Blueprint.
Yes, thank you, Len. Yeah, we want to get this, we want to get Uhuru wa Kulea, the African Women's Health Center, up and running. This is an incredible project of the African People's Education and Defense Fund. APDF is the baddest nonprofit on the planet. Our St. Louis Black Power Blueprint project empowers the entire African community, stops gentrification, builds collectively owned institutions for economic development and Black power.
All right.
APDF has been acquiring properties in North St. Louis and transforming them into institutions that are building self-determination in the hands of the Black community. So far, this campaign, we've raised $202,000 of the $420,000 needed to fully fund this project. And last year's Give STL Day played a big role in that.
Yes, definitely. And before we jump into the program, we just want to take a minute to thank all of our donors that have contributed so far to the Give STL Day campaign of 2023. So I'm just going to shout you all out. So thank you, Kristen.
Yes.
Thank you, Catherine.
Yes.
Thank you, Leah. Thank you, Brendan and Carrie.
Brendan.
Thank you, Jackson, Janice.
Yeah.
Thank you, David. Thank
Janice.
you, Colin. Thank you, Penny. Thank you, MQ.
Penny.
Thank you, Yolanda. Thank you, Nick. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Linda.
Yes.
And thank you to 4 anonymous donors.
Wow.
That so far, our total for the day so far is $3,855. Awesome. Yeah.
Yes.
So this year we want to get even closer to closing out this funding campaign so that we can get this health center built and make it a reality on the ground in North St. Louis. And you can be a part of building that future in North St. Louis by contributing now at givestlday.org/Black Power Blueprint. Be like all of our other amazing donors and go donate at givestlday.org/Black Power Blueprint. And, we want everyone to come together and make this happen. And before we move on with our program, I just want to give everybody a better idea of what the Uhuru wa Kulea African Women's Health Center will be and how far this project has come already. So, thanks to all of our donors. So let's take a look at a video about Uhuru wa Kulea.
Yes.
Each year, the number of babies that die during childbirth in St. Louis could populate 15 kindergarten classrooms. The Black community in St. Louis suffers from an infant mortality rate 3.3 times that of white people. In a city that is home to some of the best medical care in the country, African women are denied access to prenatal and postnatal care. There is nothing natural about this. These are symptoms of an unjust colonial system. Our power and our self-determination have been taken from us. But we are fighting to take back the power over our own communities and resources and the futures of our children. The Uhuru wa Kulea African Women's Health Center is the latest initiative of the Black Power Blueprint, a comprehensive neighborhood revitalization project that is transforming North St. Louis through renovation, self-sustaining economic development, and political power by and for the Black community. Uhuru wa Kulea, or Freedom to Nurture in Swahili, will be a Black-led wellness education center to empower Black women and girls in caring for our physical, mental, and emotional wellness. Our vision is to provide health and self-care programs that reinforce our traditional African culture. We are investing in the future of our community with doula and childbirth educator certification programs, along with opportunities for employment and entrepreneurship. Our programs will address the mental and physical health of Black girls and women, including prenatal, birthing, and postnatal care, trauma-informed yoga, an annual African Girls' Day event, a medicinal herb treatment program, and more. We have already begun training 15 African women from North St. Louis to become certified doulas. We've acquired the land for the health center, and now we need the funding to begin construction and bring this much-needed respite to our community. When we have power over our own communities, our resources, and our own health care, no African mother will have to mourn the loss of her baby, and every African child will have a future of prosperity and peace. Support this innovative and empowering program. Donate today.
It is now my honor to welcome the president of the African People's Education and Defense Fund and Black Star Industries and the architect of the Black Power Blueprint, Ona Zane Yeshatela.
Uhuru, comrades, Uhuru, Rage, Uhuru, Lynn. I'm missing St. Louis right now. I'll be back shortly. Okay, so I just really want to thank USM for inviting me to speak at this important webinar to raise the money, next slide, for Uhuru wa Kulea African Women's Health Center on Give St. Louis Day. Next slide. I want to recognize Dr. Aisha Fields, who is the director of APDEP, APDF's sister organization, the All African People's Development and Empowerment Project, who will also be speaking at this event tonight. I want to acknowledge and appreciate all the work she did to forward the African Doula Project and facilitate the business training workshops over a 5-week period. Next slide. The African People's Education and Defense Fund, which is our nonprofit organization, and our mission is to build community programs that speaks to the disparities in health, healthcare, education, and economic development. With Uhuru wa Kulea, we are taking back the power over our lives, our health, healthcare, and the ability to reproduce life. We need your support to build Uhuru wa Kulea African Women's Health Center in North St. Louis, Missouri. Next slide. This program is a positive response to addressing the mental health problems in our community, which we know stem from a lack of power over our own resources, our skills, labor, health, and our own lives. Building self-determination has the potential to reduce anxiety, fear of the unknown, hopelessness, and helplessness, which are symptoms of serious health crises in our communities. Healing individual trauma and community trauma are one and the same because we see ourselves as a whole people. It is necessary to state from the beginning that Black people, all life under colonialism is stolen Black life. Colonialism is defined as a parasite relationship between the colonizer and the colonized. It is a relationship in which we as African people do not have control over any aspects of our lives, including whether our babies live or die. Building Uhuru wa Kulea African Women's Health Center takes us beyond an academic and abstract discussion to practical solutions. It will contribute to empowering us to solve many of the life and death struggles we face as African women. Building this capacity to nurture, support, and cultivate healing and wellness skills give African women the opportunity to care for our bodies, which is life-producing. Even more, these women can return the skills they acquire towards building an economic capacity for community members who they train themselves. The foundation of Uhuru Kulea is yoni steaming, a self-care technique that promotes health and reduces stress. It will teach self-care to women who are overworked and extremely stressed by limited resources and lack of safety in the world at large due to colonial conditions. This would include yoga and trauma-sensitive yoga classes, along with African Girls Health Day Out, or other aspects of the health center that we are going to build, which is much needed in our community. Next slide. This health center will not only impact the women it serves, but it will train women to be entrepreneurs. Economic empowerment is the foundation of the ability to create the kind of life we deserve. Working for oneself allows for full empowerment because you are in charge. They can become certified in their fields and provide for their families, and in return will be able to give back to our community and provide better health outcomes. This health center will offer a real ground-up approach to the community development. As individuals are empowered and work together to empower others in the community becomes self-sufficient. Self-sufficiency reduces stress and provides safety in a way that nothing else does. We have purchased the land at 3771 West Florissant in the heart of the most impoverished Black community in North St. Louis. We have the land, we now have a program, and we have the collaborators. Here is a rendering of the African Women's Health Center. Next slide. This includes the layout plans for the first floor that includes 2 conference rooms, 2 offices, a beauty retail lobby, men and women's bathroom, and a storage area that will be on the first floor. Next slide. We will provide herbs, oils, and natural products for healing and bringing the art and beauty to the space the African way. The second floor includes a kitchenette, a spa, a break room, a support room, an office, and 2 restrooms and storage. So I'm in the process of introducing a proposal for Uhuru Kulea new merchandise product line that will serve as an economic development project to raise ongoing resource for the economic self-reliance for the health center itself. I have met with President Ejide Omarilla to discuss this partnering with the Colonnades to create a special line of belly butters for pregnant women. We want to have our own packaging and labels for Uhuru Kulea designed by the Colonnades. I am so excited about this partnership. These belly butters will be made of a variety of scents, including lavender, coconut, and vanilla, and many more. I will also bring back our famous Vanguard Several lipstick collection with such African names as Mother Africa, Revolutionary Red, Vanguard 7, Solidarity, Black Power, Ease Waylay to Eat Africa, and Cadre. I want to really acknowledge my niece, Capucine Childs Gaynor, for taking my vision for this economic project and actually creating the lipsticks. This is a popular and beautiful lipstick line that will contribute to sustaining the health center. Please go to gaynorbeauty.com and check out some of her other products as well. We also want to introduce a line of rebozas. We are commissioning for African hats, diaper bags, rebozas as an economic project as well. We want to go live with these items to help promote the funding of Uhuru Kulea campaign. These are some of the rings that will be attached to the rebozas. They will come in a variety of colors. And here are just some of the African rebozas, but we would have all kinds of beautiful African prints. Next slide. We will also include hats, head wraps, kids wraps, and baby bags, and so much more. So Overall, the estimated goal to build Uhuru Wakalia Health Center is $420,000. And I'm happy to say that we have raised $202,000. And we just really want to thank and appreciate all of our generous donors who have contributed so far over the past year and a half. We have raised this $102 and we want to raise more tonight. So we still have to fund $218,000. We're asking you to contribute tonight to help us continue to make this health center a reality. Traditionally, the Black community is a collective and sharing community with roots that go back to Africa. Traditional healthcare empowers us to use natural methods to heal and support ourselves. We are creating a health center for the next generation to be self-determining. We are paying it forward, and we're asking you to do the same by donating today to Give St. Louis. We are halfway there. APDF has a profound track record since our founding in 1994, and especially the last 6 years right there in St. Louis, where the Black Power Blueprint has made a profound transformation in uplifting the community and providing a vision for all that is possible with political and economic power. So I just want to say thank you so much. Please go and donate today. Uhuru.
Uhuru. Thank you so much for that incredible presentation. This Women's Health Center is exactly what our community needs.
Mm-hmm.
It speaks to every contradiction that African women and parents are facing when they're going through childbirth, you know, and the physical aspects of the body afterwards as well. Uhuru Wakalia covers it all. And with these incredible additions for economic development, this project is unstoppable.
Yes.
Yeah, Uhuru. Yeah, I just really want to salute that presentation. That was just so profound. And of course, you know, just having the economic development aspect, those amazing, like that new line is really just beautiful.
Yes.
Yeah, it's really beautiful. And I just want to, you know, remind everybody that to continue contributing funds to fund the African Women's Health Center, givestlday.org/Black Power Blueprint. Let's get this health center funded tonight.
Yes, let's do it, y'all. Let's go.
Right. So it is now my honor to welcome up Fofi Al-Kibulan to talk to you about the significance of the Uhuru Wakalia Center. Fofi. Okay, let's just slide down. This is where I was going.
Uhuru, Fofi, thank you so much for being here with us today for Give STL Day. So you've been a nurse and you are now the international coordinator of Project Black Onc. Can you talk a little bit more about the work you're leading and why it's important?
Okay, welcome. I'm glad to be here. And St. Louis. I'm just so excited to be here because my new position is I am the international coordinator for Project Black Onc. It is under the umbrella of ABDEP, which is the All African Peoples Development and Empowerment Project. Well, you know, ABDEP covers healthcare, education, and gardening. Healthcare is where Black Onc comes in because the Onc means life.
Yeah.
And in the beginning, this is not the beginning of Black Onc, but it created a lot of the things that DC was talking about in Africa, the Ebola crisis, the women that was losing their babies in Africa, in Sierra Leone, as a matter of fact. I'll tell you more about that. So during COVID, I came into Black Onc because we were dying. Everybody was affected by it, but we were most affected. We had nobody knew anything about it. So chairman said, look, we gotta do something about this.
Yeah.
So Project Black Unk was born. It shifted. So we brought in the telehealth program,
Mhm.
and we worked with different professionals to bring in all the knowledge we could about what was happening and what would save us, and to give African people a handle on what was going on with them, because we have to take our health in our own hands.
We have to.
So we did a telehealth program where Africans around the world could call and get an appointment with professional doctors. It was free. It was a video call, and we did the thing.
Yeah.
We did it. We got calls from Africa, the islands, all around the United States, and we made people better.
Yes.
Educated our people in what they needed to do to take care of themselves so we wouldn't die.
That's right.
So right now, Black Unk has been, it's always growing. Now Black Unk is introducing disaster preparedness and emergency response.
Mm.
The way we went to Cuba in
Okay.
2021, and I said, oh, this is freedom.
Man.
Their healthcare is the best in the world.
Mm.
They deploy a contingent of doctors, nurses, and they actually erect hospitals out of nowhere
Mm.
for all types of emergencies. So, you know, when Katrina hit, the Cuba Henry Reed Brigade offered to come to help.
Mhm.
They were turned away by the United States.
Wow.
But you remember what that resulted in.
Mhm.
So we need our own health care in our own
Yes,
hands.
absolutely.
So Project Black Unk now, with the emergency response and disaster preparedness, we will teach our communities how to take care of themselves. And
Yes.
in doing so, they'll get CPR training,
All right.
stop the bleed, first aid, fire prevention, bug bites and stings, because they can be deadly.
Mm.
Cold weather conditions and hot weather conditions, along with everything else we build in our arsenal for that to teach. And every division, every area has different natural disasters and man-made disasters. So if you're prepared, then you can save yourself.
Yes. Yes.
It's a disaster preparedness. So we can go in and show people what to do, how to do it.
Yeah.
And when disaster happen, they don't have to wait for the Red Cross. It's not gonna show up.
That's right.
Okay.
Yes.
So that's what we're doing.
Mhm.
Very first branch will be right here in St. Louis. And this will be the training station for the world,
Yes.
the African world. Yes, so I'm excited.
Excited.
I'm excited. I've been a nurse for 47 years.
Wow.
And I've retired, but I haven't retired because my people's life
Mhm.
is really important to me. And I want to do everything I can to preserve it.
Yes. Uhuru. Thank you so much, Fofi.
Yeah, that's amazing. And this project is, this is a huge part of building self-determination in the hands of African people.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah, I do want to just really quick, just take 1 minute really, and just thank some of our donors so far, because everybody is just so moved and mobilized by everything that we're hearing. So I just really want to thank Lauren for her donation of $105. Thank you, Leah, for your
Leah.
donation of $500. Thank you, Muezi, for your donation of $105. Thank you. Jesse Neville, the chair of the Uhuru Solidarity Movement. Kitty, thank you so much, Kitty, for your donation of $105. And we have John with a donation of $36.75. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, Johan with a donation of $52.
Thank you so
Johan.
much.
A donation from Chairman of $90. Yeah, and anonymous donor, thank you for your $10 donation as
Thank
well.
you so much.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. Yeah, so I mean, I know that there's a lot of disparities that exist, not just here in St. Louis,
Right.
but around the entire world and in the US definitely. And some of the statistics that really expose the brutal colonial reality that exists. And if you both would talk a little bit about that
Yeah.
experience perhaps.
Go ahead, Fofi.
Okay, working, St. Louis is supposed to have some of the most progressive hospitals
Yeah.
and surgeries and all of the things that people look for in health.
Right.
But at the same time, the care that African people get is substandard,
Yes.
substandard.
Absolutely.
Our neighborhoods and the income level causes disparities,
Mhm.
and what you don't have could save your life, or what's not available to you could save your life.
Right.
When let me go back, I worked in Illinois, East St. Louis, Illinois, which is one of the most depressed other than North St. Louis.
Mhm.
It's just as depressed. And you
Yeah.
got a whole city. And many of the women would come in with their babies, and some of them would leave without them
Mhm.
because they wouldn't live.
Mhm.
I'm talking after 40 some years of nursing. That was back then.
Mhm.
Well, see, problem is now it hasn't gotten any better.
Right.
Women are still, African women are still dying from pregnancy,
Yeah.
where it could have been different, a different
Yeah.
outcome. Babies are dying from different outcomes, when if they were not African, they would have lived.
Right.
So this has made me sick.
Mhm.
But now I can be part of the answer to the problem.
Yes.
So, and you can be part of the answer to the problem.
Yes.
Because
Absolutely.
we want to save our babies
We do.
and we want to save our mothers,
Yes.
because health is important.
Mhm.
It's important. I was looking at some of the statistics, and I was telling Comrade Lynn, I said, statistics are numbers that's noted and is used as a blueprint of progress or no progress.
Mhm.
In the US, Black and African women, 22% more likely will die from heart disease, while a white woman, 71% is more likely to, it won't bother.
Mm.
71% more likely to die from cervical cancer, 243% more likely to die from pregnancy or childbirth related causes. And the problem is the answer to the problem is so simple.
Right.
But if you don't know,
Proper care.
you don't know,
Right.
you don't know. And sub care,
Yeah.
or less care, is pointed to the neighborhoods where there's no insurance.
Mhm.
So everything you get is given to you. So they have to take
Right.
what's offered.
Right.
And some of them don't know what they're getting.
Mhm.
I won't say a relative of mine was pregnant.
Mm.
The child was being carried in the abdominal womb.
Mm.
Usually those pregnancies terminate. This one did not, and she was a wonder. She went to the clinic the way she was supposed to, and they were supposed to be caring for her. And in the end of the seventh trimester, they heard the baby heartbeat struggling. Instead of them taking her then and bringing the baby so they could live, they told her to go home and come back Friday. She went home, and that night she had to come back. And when she gave birth, the baby lived like 3 hours. Now that would have been preventable if she had not been African.
Yeah.
If she had not been African, she would have been a wonder baby. This would have been a wonder baby for the simple reason they wouldn't have been testing on her. And afterward, they gave her a medication that later showed up as leukemia. So,
wow.
yeah, this is happening.
Yeah.
And I'm just dumbfounded at how African people are treated.
Yeah.
But we were brought to the world to entertain and to work. And part of the work that they're doing on us is examples. I worked with a woman when I worked in Lafayette, Louisiana.
Yeah.
In the hospital. This lady was 82 years old, and she had been part of the STL Louisiana study where they infected men and women with syphilis and watched them throughout their life and kept track of them as samples. She had brain cancer. And she was telling me that her friends and things had died of different cancers. Some of them went blind, some of them just lost their mind because they went crazy.
Yeah.
It made me sick.
Yeah.
It made me sick.
I've heard so many horror stories, and I've experienced things myself. I mean, as far as like during my pregnancy with my youngest child, Nova, I bled through my entire pregnancy enough to fill up a whole pad, and I was told it was normal. And anytime I said I was in pain, it was dismissed. And by the time it was time to give birth to my child, like I was going into labor a month early, and my water broke and was filled with blood. And they took their time to get me in for an emergency C-section. And my child swallowed over a pint of blood. And it's just like, my story is not the only story, so many of the other African women and parents that I know have a horror story. But Uhuru Wakalia is the answer, because we're taking control of our health back from the colonizer.
As Chairman said, in St. Louis alone, it's enough children, African babies that die in a year, to fill up 15 kindergartens.
Yeah.
Now, with that being said, I was trying to do the math. 15 kindergarten children is usually real small.
Yeah.
There's usually 20 to 25 children in a kindergarten. So 15 times that's from 225 to 390 babies that die a year right here in St. Louis.
Man.
Because of the care. Lessness.
Yes.
Oh, I just carelessness of the system.
Yeah.
We got to take our own health into our hands.
Exactly.
And you may not be you may not be a doctor or a executive that can actually physically do something, but you can donate.
You can.
You can donate to a program that is doing something.
You can support a program
Yes.
that is doing the only thing that
Exactly.
is gonna prevent African women's continuing to experience this trauma.
It's gotta
Yes.
stop.
Yeah, go to givestlday.org/Black Power Blueprint. And I just want to say that, there are some studies that show that the mortality rate of African babies is cut in half when they're cared for by African health practitioners, including doulas and midwives. And that is exactly what Uhuru Kulea, Freedom to Nurture African
Yes.
Women's Health Center will do. It will cut the mortality rate in half of African babies. And I just want to say that there is nothing normal about or natural about these disparities that exist, and that these are symptoms of a colonial mode of production.
Yes.
And this means that all of the resources that come into my community, my white community, are made possible through the theft and of the resources and the life of African people. And if this is something that enrages you, if you hate to just see that African mothers and people and babies just dying or being locked up, then go to givestlday.org/Black Power Blueprint and let's get this health center built in North St. Louis.
I agree.
I agree. This Give STL Day is a call to action to everyone who is offended and appalled by the ongoing death and violence imposed on African people at every stage of life, whether it's dying within the first year of life, or being stolen from our families by CPS, or being murdered by the police, or forced into prison, or being killed by the state-sanctioned lynching. You can do something right now you can take a stand and support the economic institutions that are making a change right now. By going to givestlday.org/Black Power Blueprint and donate right now.
Yes. Let's just thank a couple donors here. You want to thank some donors?
Oh, yes.
First names of donors and the amounts that they have.
Okay, let's thank Becky for your $105 donation. Thank you so much. Lori Wagner, thank you, Lori, for your $100 donation. Nathan, your $52.50 donation. Brandon, you donated again with $210. Allison with $105. Matum Carter, $105. Karen with $105. Thank you so much. Yes.
Our total right now is $5,872.85. So let's well, I just want to see if you had anything else that you would like to add at the moment before we continue on with our program.
I just thought about today. I on my way to work, I called my daughter and I said, I love you. I'm so happy that you're my daughter. And then I called my son when I got to work and I said, I love you. I'm so happy that you're my son. And at that point, I remembered today is my grandmother's birthday.
Oh, wow.
She would have been 113 years old.
Wow. That's incredible.
And yesterday, my baby grandson was 20 months.
Wow.
So because the generations continue to grow and we love our children.
Yes.
And we love other people's children.
Yes.
We must have this Uhuru Wakalia.
Yes, freedom to nurture. We deserve it.
We deserve it. They're not here in St. Louis, but that does not stop me from rooting and asking and saying, we need your dollar.
That's right.
We need your dollar to make this dream come true for our future children.
Yes.
And the generations to follow.
It is owed to us. It's owed to us after 600 plus years of colonial domination, after being forced to breastfeed our oppressors' children, being forced to nurture and care for them and their families while we are enslaved, and now we struggle to provide for our own. It is our time. It is our time to have freedom to nurture our children, our bodies, our lives. Our lives are sacred and we deserve the very best. And reparations are owed. So go and support this incredible and important and necessary project.
Yes.
Give STL.org/Black Power Blueprint.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And there's one last thing I want to say. This was the statistic that was not already brought up, but babies that are born underweight, 90% of them, well, I won't say 90, 75% of them were African babies, which there should be no reason why this should happen.
Right.
Parents, not parents, but if the mother gets what she needs, the vitamins,
Yes.
the food,
Yes.
if something happens, she's got somebody to help advocate for her.
Yeah.
That's why the doulas are so
important.
important.
So important.
So important. I didn't have a doula. I didn't know what a doula was. My children are grown and my grandchildren, some of them are grown.
Yeah.
So it is such it's so amazing how that one person can change the life of a whole generation.
Right.
A whole generation.
Yeah.
So give.
Yes.
Give today. Give till it hurts.
Yes.
Pay that bill next month. Give today.
Yes.
Yes.
Give STLday.org/Black Power Blueprint. Thank you, Fofi, so much for being on our program
You're
right
so
now.
welcome.
I think you'll be back in a little bit, but
Yeah.
and Rach,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Keep donating.
We want to now bring a director of the All African Peoples Development and Empowerment Project, Dr. Aisha Fields, to talk to us about the African Doula Project and its significance in addressing the disparities African mothers and babies are facing. Uhuru, Dr. Aisha, we are so honored to have you here today.
Uhuru, comrades, I'm so honored to be a part of this incredibly powerful program. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. So Dr. Aisha, you're a part of you're the director of the All African Peoples Development and Empowerment Project, which had a lot to do with the African Doula Project. Can you talk to us about what a doula is and just talk a little bit more about the African Doula Project?
Yes, first of all, I want to really salute the president of the African People's Education Defense Fund, Deputy Chair Onizane Yeshatela, first of all, for her incredible presentation that she opened this program with, and for her tremendous leadership. The doula program and Uhuru Wakalia are both part of the vision that was put forward by Deputy Chair Onizane Yeshatela, who is always thinking about how to solve problems and how to create, concrete solutions for the contradictions that have been posed on African people, that's colonized people. And as the president of APDF and the architect of the Black Power Blueprint, she is such an important leader. And I just really want to appreciate her for making also our Chairman Amalia Shatela's theory of African internationalism something that we can taste, that we can touch, that we can feel, that we can engage. And I just really want to salute both of them for their incredible leadership and say that I was honored to play a role in the African Doula Project. Deputy Chair asked if I could help. Now, she had already done 99% of the work, her and her team, to create the African Doula Project, and just needed some support at the end to help to facilitate the actual training that was being put forward there in St. Louis. And the idea was that as a kickoff project for Uhuru Wakalia, that there would be this African Doula Project that would help to train African women in St. Louis to become doulas. And many people, I think, are just now kind of becoming familiar with this idea of doulas, but a doula is not a midwife. A doula is in many ways somebody who complements and supports work that midwives do and other birth workers do, but doulas are trained birth workers who help to provide support to women before, during, and after childbirth. So doulas are really important. They provide support, they provide advocacy, they help to mediate between women and the maternity care providers. And oftentimes they can serve as the voice for the pregnant, woman if she feels that she needs it. So doulas are really, really incredible support for women who often, especially for African women, who oftentimes find ourselves, as Comrade Rage and Fofi said in their presentations, not getting what we need in our birthing experience. So doulas are really, really important for that reason.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Aisha.
Yes. This is so significant because as I was sharing earlier, I didn't have a doula through my experience. Can you share some of the successes that have come from the program?
So the program, which it was such an incredible program, APDF partnered with Common Sense Childbirth, which is led by an incredible African woman midwife, Jenny Joseph, and brought 2 trainers from different parts of the country into St. Louis to train what wound up being 14 African women to be full spectrum doulas. And so we've heard all the statistics, regarding childbirth for African women in St. Louis. So to consider the fact that we were responsible for training 14 African women free of charge to have access to this full spectrum doula training. So that was a win in and of itself. We also, though, completed a 5-week business development training, because not only did we want the women who participated in the program to have the actual skills that they would need to be a doula, but we wanted them to have the skills to be able to start their own businesses, to have successful doula businesses. So there was a 5-week business training that was implemented, that was kicked off by Deputy Chair Onizine Yeshitela. It was a 5-week business training, teaching everything from, it was like a whole step-by-step process of how to start your own business, the legal aspect of it, marketing, branding, how to get clients, bookkeeping, So it was just a really powerful 5-week program. We also helped to secure the funding for the women who completed the program to have mentorship through Common Sense Childbirth, so that they could complete their certification. So even beyond the training, making sure that they had the resources and the support to be able to become certified full spectrum doulas. Another success is that we were actually able to connect African women, pregnant African women, with our doulas to have free doula services. So in every way, I would say that this doula program has been an incredible success. And I think that we're going to see, moving forward, just how this is going to have tremendous positive ripple effects in the African community.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, wow, it's amazing. And, the health center hasn't even been built yet, and look how much has already, done. Like Ona Zane has just really taken charge and, is not letting anything stop this doula project from just going and going. And it's amazing. And in a little bit, we're going to have one of the doulas here, which is really exciting. But yeah, this is just amazing. And I know we've been talking about this throughout the whole program, but Dr. Aisha, if you could just talk a bit about the significance of having self-determination in the African community and for African women in general.
Uhuru. I really appreciate that question, because everything that the African People's Socialist Party and the Uhuru movement internationally has been involved in for more than 50 years is forwarding self-determination for African people, which really means helping to advance African people and our ability to determine our own future, to have the capacity to feed, clothe, and house ourselves, and to take care of the health and well-being of our people. You know, self-determination is Black power. You know, African self-determination is Black power. It's knowing that you have a future because it's one that you have the capacity and the power to construct. So I think that this program, in terms of, you know, the Black Power Blueprint program, is an incredible example of African self-determination. And the Uhuru Wakalia project of the Black Power Blueprint and the African Doula project are just a handful of examples of how the Uhuru movement is actually forwarding the capacity for Black people to be completely self-reliant and self-determining. So I think all of the things that we could talk about in terms of the symptoms that we experience as colonized people, like the violence that's imposed on us, the poverty, which is another form of violence that's imposed on us, that the incredible lack of everything that human beings need, which has been imposed on us, all of that can be solved through African people having control over our land, our labor, our resources, and being a self-determined, self-governing people. So it is the absolute answer to all of the problems that we are confronted with as a people.
Yes.
Absolutely. What are some of the current campaigns that APDEP is engaged in?
Well, first of all, I really want to salute Comrade Fofi, who is such an incredible comrade. I mean, she's such an incredible comrade. And she is, like, in my view, she is the epitome of what APDEP is about, which is African people recognizing that the skills that we have belong to the African liberation movement.
Yes.
That there is no better place. There is no other place where the skills that we have can actually transform the conditions that we are experiencing as colonized African people. And I would really want to salute her as the international coordinator for Project Black Ankh, which is our primary campaign that we're launching right now, and that work to build the capacity for us to respond to be prepared for, and to be able to respond to natural disasters and other emergencies that impact us, not only in the United States or not only in the continent of Africa, but wherever we are, so that we never again have to simply watch as our people drown in floodwaters or cry only because our people are underneath the rubble after a earthquake, but that we have the ability to, you know, to mount a response. And although we're not where we need to be or have to be to fully be able to do, you know, and respond in the way we want to, we're growing that capacity. And I just really want to appreciate, you know, Fofi's leadership around Project Black Ankh. That's our primary campaign. Yeah. We also do have, you know, our Marcus Garvey Youth Program, which is our primary educational program. And we have community gardens that we have built in our building in the US and in other parts of the African world. So that's our primary work right now. And we're very excited to be a part in some small way of the Uhuru Wakalia as a partner under the leadership of Deputy Chair and APDF. So that's where we are. And I just really, again, I want to salute this program, and I really want to appreciate the ability to contribute, you know, in some small way to raising this $10,000 or more that we should be raising today.
Uhuru, Aisha, I mean, just really quickly, there are so many people that worked on this project, you know, and I noticed that Ann Leslie is on this.
Yes.
Let me tell you something. When I had this vision for this program, I called Ann up and I said, Ann, and guess what? Ann was in the airport getting ready to go to Ecuador and actually move to Ecuador. And I said, Ann, and Ann is a midwife. And I said, I really want to do this program for doulas. I say, is there anything that you can provide to help me, kick this off? And she sat in the airport the whole time and wrote out, an outline to help get this started. So I really want to recognize Ann Leslie. I want to recognize 4 Feet.
Yes.
Contributed to this process. Also, President Ijide from ANWO, the furniture store, Sarah, who designed the logo, and of course, our Chairman O'Malley Shatella, who is the visionary for everything that we do, touch and feel. I want to salute him, and so many African women who participated in this program. And Aisha, can you just say, like, okay, we're at Aquaba Hall, right? And just say what when they walked into Aquaba Hall, what did the students and the African women say to you, about, everything that was provided for them, even before, the training got started?
Yeah, well, for like at least a week or more before the training, Deputy Chair was making sure we had every detail prepared for them to come in to see the most beautiful Aquaba Hall. I mean, it was decorated so beautifully, balloons and the colors of the doula project, and gifts for everyone. And when the sisters came in and when the trainers came in, it was like they expressed to me that they felt honored, that there was so much care given to setting the tone for what they should expect for the weekend. And I think that speaks to what the Deputy Chair always says, which is that the African working class deserves the best.
Yes.
We're not used to getting the best, but we deserve the best.
Right.
And I think that was a beautiful example of giving African working class women, the best that we could. And it was very warmly received. And it really did set the tone for an incredible weekend. And so much was learned, bonds made, friendships developed. And I believe, deeply impacted those women.
Yeah, and also I want to thank Janaba and Wendy Craig for making the beautiful booklets for the notes.
Yes.
They made those. And I also want to thank our grants, the mighty grants team of APDF, Chair Maureen, Janice, Wendy Craig, Leah, that has been really fighting to find resources so we could be able to have these classes for free. The students had to pay not 1 cent out of their pocket. Wow. Not 1 cent. So that was incredible. So I just wanted to thank those people as well.
Yes. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Dr. Aisha, for being on this webinar to talk to us about the significance of Uhuru wa Kulea, and just, all of your knowledge about APDEP and just sharing that with us. Just really appreciate it. Really salute you.
Thanks for having me, comrades. Thank you.
Thank you. Good to see you. Before we jump into our next section, I just want to say one thing that, that Chairman Omali Yeshitela has said, that he refuses to leave this reality that we have right now to the next generation, the conditions that African people face. He refuses to leave that to the next generation. And in our lifetime, in the chairman's lifetime, a new world will be born.
Yes,
and the Black Power Blueprint, the African People's Education and Defense Fund, and the Uhuru movement are the midwives of the new world. Ooh. And we can do our part to contribute towards this really beautiful project today, right now at givestlday.org/Black Power Blueprint.
Uhuru.
Yes.
And it looks like we got some more donations in. Thank you so much, Ann. for your $50 donation. Thank you for your anonymous $10.50 donation. Thank you, Susan, for your $26.25 donation. Raya, Comrade Raya, thank you so much for your $110 donation.
Yes.
And NQ with your $42 donation. Thank you so much. Every cent
Amazing.
is worth it, and we deserve it. Thank y'all
Yes.
so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Let's keep donating
Yes.
at givestlday.org/Black Power Blueprint. Let's get this health center funded.
Woo!
All right.
Now we'd like to welcome up two local St. Louis revolutionary poets to talk about the doula training program. And maybe, just maybe, we might get to hear some poetry from them.
We'll see.
Woo!
Welcome, Sophie and Grace Jones.
Uhuru. All right. Thank you.
Thank you so much for
Thank you.
joining us again.
This is Comrade Grace Jones.
Uhuru.
And not only is Grace an awesome poet, she's also a doula.
That's right, I am.
Grace, what made you want to become a doula?
What made me want to become a doula? Well, I think about the African women here in St. Louis. I think about the African women overseas. I think about the African woman. I think about me. I think about that 14-year-old girl pregnant. I think about me, that 14-year-old girl pregnant, no help, no support. If I would have someone in my life that can help me, support me, someone I can go to, talk to, I think I would have been much more calmer, or, yes, because I was so scared. I didn't know what to do. And that's what made me want to become a doula. I think about the African woman dying in childbirth. I think about the African babies that died during childbirth. Statistics say this, so this is to be true.
And what I've learned is sometimes statistics are not. When I took statistic, you can make the numbers say whatever you want them to. So what I'm saying is the statistics say maybe a percentage is 25%, when in reality it could be 50%, but the 25 works better for whatever situation. So if they said 380 babies died in a year, it was probably more like 580.
Right.
So, because there's a way you can hide those numbers.
Exactly. You're right.
Tell me, what do you believe an African woman's health center would mean in this community?
It would mean freedom. It would mean a refuge to African women. It would mean a whole lot of difference. It would help limit disparities, health crisis, all of those great things. I mean, it would mean a lot to our community to have a health center for Black women, where they can feel safe, where they can feel welcomed, where someone can be a counselor to them, someone that could be a help, a support. I think that it would be great.
It sounds like the help and the support is a doula. It's the doula.
Yes, I agree.
Okay, and why should everyone donate today?
Because we need this health center. We need everyone that's on this webinar right now today to please give whatever you can, because we really need this in our communities. We need this in our community. We need it now. Thank you so much for everyone that have already donated.
Yes.
We appreciate you, and we're just gonna keep on going.
Yes.
We're gonna keep going.
Yeah. You know, you said we need this,
Yes,
but more than we need it, we deserve it.
yes, we do.
Look at what's been taken from us.
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, we deserve it.
Yes.
We demand it.
Yes.
We deserve it.
You're
And
right.
to do that, to help us with this things that we deserve as African women.
Yes.
Because you know, African women birthed this world.
Yes.
You heard about Lucy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you heard about Lucy.
Yeah.
You'll hear more about her later. But right now, we need you to support African women
Yes.
in this amazing,
Health
amazing health center.
Yes.
Not only will they get things that will uplift their spirit,
Mhm.
things that will give them confidence,
Yes.
And they will get-
mental health.
right?
like-
They'll get
Yes.
knowledge.
Mhm.
They'll get knowledge. You know, we are so I keep thinking about the Yanni birth.
Yes,
Oh my God. You know,
me too.
things that that you see on TV,
Yeah.
it's out of reach or it's out of thought for an African woman, especially in North St. Louis.
Absolutely.
It's that's a fantasy. It's not even a fantasy. They don't even think that far.
Right.
They can't, because they can't see themselves in that position doing that. That's just that's fantasy on TV.
Right.
But you know what?
We're gonna
We
make
can
it a
real.
reality.
Yeah, it's a reality. And they deserve it.
Yes, absolutely.
They deserve it. DC Deputy Chair Owner Zane.
Can I just say something real quick about Grace?
Yes.
Okay, so Grace is being really modest. Grace has been the leader of this doula project since the school has been out. When we get doulas calling the office and saying, you know, people who are pregnant and
Mhm.
say they need doulas, Grace has volunteered to take that on, and she's always in communication with all the doulas that went through the class, pulling them together, you know, keeping them bonded. So Grace, I know you a little shy by saying that, but I just want to put that out there. And that has been a tremendous help, because we need, you know, African women, we need that support, you know, to say that we can do it. And Grace is the champion behind all of it.
Yeah.
And salute her leadership, you know.
Deputy Chair Owner Zane, you bring out the best.
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Because you said African people only deserve the best.
Absolutely.
And those fantasies or things that I was just talking about, people can't even see themselves in, you make it possible and touchable.
Yes. We
Congratulations.
appreciate you.
Yes.
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 You know,
Now-
I'm just happy to be the president of the baddest nonprofit on the planet.
Yes.
And if you go in any of our institutions, from our furniture store to our Quabble halls that are located in Florida and California, and the new one in St. Louis, I mean, it's beautiful. All of them are beautiful. You know, we take such pride in everything that we build. And, you know, like we said, we want the best for the African community, and we give that in every institution, program that we build. You can see that love and care that goes into each and everything that we produce. So I just want to salute you three sisters up here looking beautiful, you know, and just thank you for participating in this St. Louis Gift Day. And if you're out there, you know, and you have family, friends, you know, call them up and say, hey, look, we're trying to build an African health center in the most impoverished community in North St. Louis. Have them go and donate today. And if they can't donate today, donate tomorrow, you know, and let's make this thing a reality. Because
Let's do it. Yes.
And the last, I want to ask Comrade Grace to please grace us with one of her poetic pieces.
I sure can. This one is really new. It's called Erase Her. If I can find it.
While you looking for it, I wanna say I'm gonna donate $105.
Yes.
I will also say that I will match you, Fofi, and donate 100.
Can we get some more matching out there? Yeah, come on. We you know, it takes three of us, led by DC Older and Dr. Aisha Fields, to ask you to match us at $105, because we're gonna make this goal, and we're gonna do it because African women deserve it. Because we bring forth African children
Yes.
who only deserve the best.
The absolute best.
Yes. Thank you, Chairman, for your wisdom to put this forth. And thank you, Deputy Chair Onzine, for letting us know that it can and it will be done.
Yes.
All right, you ready?
Uhuru.
Yes, I'm ready.
Uhuru.
This piece right here is called Erase Her. Erase her. Blood, red pin marks on the paper. Split apart from her family to be slaved of their labor. They thought no one would trace her. Kept her away to be used up, but she's a magic marker. Every creed and color, the wind, the water, the leaves, the air that we breathe. The birds and the bees, a permanent need. She's queen. A disrespected, forsaken, forgotten legacy. Mother to all Earth's capacity. She's knocked down. They nosed up with frowns as she crawls on her knees on the ground. She picks herself up every time on her feet, 10 toes down, with complete posture. She strides and glides. It's in her nature, walking with pride, head held up to the sky, because in her bloodline is strength and capability, endurance and fight. Everyone wants to be just like her, but not her. Share her culture all around the globe, from her head down to her toes, her features, full lips and nose, her shine and the way her skin glows. Yet they want to erase her and try to replace her. Her spirituality and how she can sum us up riches like silver and gold, God-like secrets forever to be untold, that juju magic not everyone knows. From Africa to Jamaica, New Orleans, Alabama, Tallahassee to down in Decatur, they wanted to displace her and disgrace her, making her they bitches and hoes, breaking her. Her in depth and they voice loud and lethal, but she's regal to all that knows. And when you meet her, all will show that she is all of us. We relation. Sister, mama, niece, or cousin in all the generations. She can't be deleted, depleted, or duplicated. The #1 rated, unprotected, most hated species on the planet is me, is her, is she. Exposed for everyone to see how she overcome the most extreme pressures of things in life. Her dreams wiped clean, her future not so bright, but she lends her hand and she heals the land, making her mark. You can't erase her. She's beginning, start, and end. Red pen marks turn black, black ink that leaks, stains on the curses on her name. She will always remain forever. That's that. Thank you.
And we want you to donate to
GiveSTLday.org/Black Power Blueprint.
Yes! Yes! Because you know what? You can't erase her.
That's right.
Cannot erase her.
Can't erase her. To erase her would be erase you.
Yeah.
All right, comrades. This is such a whew. Yeah. We're gonna do this.
Yes.
And
We're
we can
doing
do
it.
this
We're
with
doing
you.
it.
With
We
you.
win it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All
right.
Thank you.
We are winning.
We are winning.
Undefeated.
Wow, that was incredible. Whew, thank you so much. That was really just
How?
so powerful. Always
Man.
to have Fofi and Grace together on the camera. Wow.
Like Sophie said, woo.
Yeah. Woo. You know, this health center is definitely on its way to becoming a reality on the ground in North St. Louis. And it's just so inspiring to see African people and just all freedom loving people coming together to support this amazing institution. And you know, this is a people's movement, and you could really see that in all of the donations that are coming in. So just thank you all so much. So it is now my honor to welcome up Penny Hess. Penny Hess is the author of Penny Hess is the author of Overturning the Culture of Violence and is the chairwoman of the African People Solidarity Committee, here to talk to us about why the health center is not just important for the African community, but for the white community as well. And Uhuru, Chairwoman Penny, it's good to see you. It's good to have you here.
Wow, I just want to start by saying I am so moved. This is an amazing program today, so dynamic, and just the leadership of African people and African women as part of the African nation. It's a great honor to be here, and I want to salute Deputy Chair Ona Zinaya-Shatella, who's just so, not just, you know, as they say, explaining the world, she's changing it through actually putting the programs on the ground and in a beautiful way, as has been said. And of course, I want to salute my leadership, Chairman Omali-Yeshitela, whose vision this is for the freedom and liberation of African people everywhere. And just all of the people who have been on this, as well as Deputy Chair, you, Rage, and Len, and Dr. Aisha Fields, and Fofi, and Grace. Wow, what, I mean, it's mind-boggling. I am so honored to be here tonight. This is a beautiful program. And to see, I can't, you know, I just know that the doula program and the ultimate Uhuru Wakalia Health Center is part of changing the world.
Yes.
People.
Thank you so much, Chairwoman Penny. Can you tell us why you got involved in the work that you do with the APSC and why you think white people should support Uhuru Wakalia African Women's Health Center?
Uhuru, yes. Well, let me just say, first of all, that many years ago, when Fofi was just becoming a nurse, I was joining the Solidarity Committee, and I happened to be in a situation. I saw Chairman Omali-Yeshitela speak way back in 1976 in Louisville, Kentucky. The chairman was on a tour. He was speaking at the YMCA upstairs in a little room in the YMCA. It was, I will never forget that. And he was laying out all the, you know, places on the continent of Africa where liberation struggles were happening back there in Angola, Mozambique, Guinea-Bissau, and, you know, many other places, and just like really talking about the struggle for African liberation. But he also said that he was, and the party was forming the African People Solidarity Committee in St. Petersburg, Florida. So from Louisville, there was a crew of us who went, including party members from Louisville in a car to St. Petersburg, where the African People Solidarity Committee was formed at the end of September in 1976. Wow. And it was so exciting to, first of all, to hear, because the chairman at that conference gave a presentation on dialectical materialism, which was really African internationalism, for 13 hours. And it was so gripping. It was so powerful to, you know, to really begin as a white person, to begin to have an opportunity through what the chairman through the door that he opened for us to be able to begin to see the world as it is experienced by the African working class and by oppressed and colonized peoples around the world. And I would just say that another thing that, is so important about it and was so moving to me and still is that it wasn't about racism. It wasn't about trying to always, as a colonizer, purge your brain, your mind. It's not about that. It is about taking a stand against colonialism, against a political and economic system, what the chairman calls the colonial mode of production. And that it's something that we can do. Take action, take a stand, raise reparations, go into the white community and organize other white people, which is a huge challenge, originally, because many of us at that time wanted to get away from the white community. But this is what our responsibility is. We have to go back behind enemy lines and win other white people. And just this whole way that the African People's Solidarity Committee was formed under the leadership of Chairman O'Malley, People's Socialist Party, it gives us an opportunity to, first of all, rectify our relationship to African people and the rest of the world in a really, truly honest way. It's our self-criticism, about what white people have done in order to get wealth, steal this land, steal African human beings, and, have the power of life and death, and all of the violence that we have carried out against African people, day after day. And that there is no such thing as women in general. As President Yejide of the African National Women's Organization always says, that there is no such thing as women in general. There's the colonizer and the colonized. And white women are part of the colonizer nation. But we do have, there are many sectors of the white population that do have contradictions with our ruling class, but we can't be there to get power for ourselves, to be part of, more power within the colonizer nation, so this gives us the opportunity to join humanity, to be able to, rectify our past and to really, look at African internationalism, the colonial mode of production, what that means, and how African people and colonized people are changing the world, are ending the system and building something very beautiful, very powerful, a world that, I want to live in, that this is the world. When I see the kind of, just what is being created by the Office of Deputy Chair Onizine Shatella, the Black Power Blueprint, all of these programs that actually serve the needs of the community, and the leadership, the brilliant leadership, the fight for state power, the fight for liberation, true liberation of African people everywhere, led by Chairman Omali Shatella in this world. It is an honor, and it is something that, that so many white people want to be part of. This is the future. This is why, I also want to salute Chair Jesse Neville of the Uhuru Solidarity Movement, and Vice Chair Amanda, who are here with me tonight in St. Petersburg, Florida. Very excited. And, it's an honor. And I know that, the party is winning. We are winning. USM has members in more than 140 cities of white people. And this is the world coming to be turned right side up. The former objects of history becoming the subjects of history.
Yes.
As the chairman says, African people establishing a world in which everyone can live, no one at the expense of anyone else.
Uhuru.
Great program, very, very, very exciting. And I am gonna put in $55 more so I can add $5.
We got another match.
Great. Thank you, Chairwoman Penny. That's amazing.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, that's, just really profound, what you said. And, I just appreciate you, as, the chairwoman of the African People's Solidarity Committee, and, as somebody who's also in the African People's Solidarity Committee and the Solidarity Movement, working under the leadership of the Uhuru movement and of Chairman Amalia Shatella. It's really, I can see that as a white person, that we really have access to resources, at the expense of African people and all colonized people. And that, they're the only way to really rectify this situation is for African people to take power back over their own lives and resources. And, that's really what makes the Uhuru movement so unique, because, they're not just raising money, but they're raising money that, they're people are funding this project, because they're actually making change, like on the ground, that you can see with your own eyes, and that the African community is experiencing, like in North St. Louis and around the world, because of because of the projects that are being built. And it's just, as any white person out there, if this is moving to you, which I really hope that it is, you can be a part of this African liberation movement, under the leadership, of like the African working class, and pay reparations to this project at givestlday.org/Black Power Blueprint.
Yes, I really want to unite with that, and that reparations is not a favor. It's not charity. It is what is owed to African people, because the stolen labor alone, not to mention stolen land, stolen resources, everything that goes on today continues today for all of the stolen resources from the continent of Africa. And I saw a little, TikTok video today naming the top 10 most impoverished countries in the world, and all of them were in Africa, which, by the way, Africa should be one country. That is what the chairman is fighting for. But in any case, it was various different, including Sierra Leone, which was talked about earlier, that APDEP has a relationship to, yet it has the largest diamonds in the world. It has so many different kinds of minerals and natural resources, and the people are starving because of this colonialism, this colonial mode of production that still goes on. And we have resources, but they don't belong to us. We owe reparations. And this is part of joining the future. This is part of taking on this system, and saying that we want to be on the forward side of history. We want to take a positive stand. We want to contribute what we have to. If we're going to come into a new world, we have to contribute and return what belongs to African people, who have a right to all of their resources, and to live in health and everything that's being envisioned by the Black Power Blueprint and the African Women's Uhuru Wakalia Clinic and doula program, and everything that is being carried out. Uhuru.
Thank you.
Uhuru.
Thank you, Chairwoman Penny.
Thank you so much. Yes. And it looks like we did get some more donations. We have a $21 donation from James, $105 match from Ruby.
All right.
And, we got Chairwoman Penny's $55 to make that another $105 match.
Yes.
So thank you so much. And Chairwoman Penny, I just really want to salute you in your stance. And you're a true example of what solidarity really looks like.
Yes.
So thank you, Uhuru.
Uhuru.
Thank you, and thank you to the African People's Socialist Party and all of you, everybody here, APDF. It's an honor to be under the leadership of this incredible movement.
Uhuru. Yes. So right now we have raised $6,502.
Yay!
feel very confident that
Yes,
we
we
can get
got
this up
this.
to like
We got this.
10,000.
Come on,
So-
y'all.
If we raised $3,498 more, then we would get to an even 10,000.
That'd be it.
Let's do it. Let's
That'd be
get
all we
there.
need.
That's it. Yes.
Uhuru.
Uhuru. So I do just want to, see if Deputy Chair Onizade wants to come back up and say anything. If Chairwoman Penny, if you have anything else you'd like to say, or if Fofeet or Grace has anything else they would like to say, or Rage.
Just that you have to support the Uhuru Wakalia. It means freedom to nurture for a reason. African women do not have that freedom. Being pregnant was never fun for me. I worked through every pregnancy I've ever had. I've never had an opportunity to enjoy that experience. And once my baby was here, it was a matter of figuring out how to really survive and provide for this new life. The programs and institutions of the African People Education and Defense Fund are a key to us taking power back, taking control back, taking back the traditions that were stolen from us, that the lost wisdom that we're missing. It is a pathway forward for the African nation, and it is the most necessary thing that you can contribute to right now.
Yes. Yeah. And I just want to say that if 10 people donated $300, we would reach our goal.
Yeah.
If 20 people donated $150, we would meet our goal. So let's do it. Let's get to $10,000.
I unite with that.
Yes.
I do. And I didn't know why. Well, I know why I chose. Each time I gave birth, it was, I seeked out an African doctor.
Mm.
I was comfortable. They knew me as an African woman, and I felt confident.
Mm-hmm.
So that statistic about how pregnant women nurture and children nurture when they are served by African physicians,
Mm-hmm.
that's true.
Yes.
That's true. And because I was just thinking, yeah, I did do that.
Yeah.
And I did that for me. And but by me being newly becoming a mother, I felt confident. If I had any questions
Mm-hmm.
or concerns, I could speak to that person
Mm-hmm.
and say, look, what is this going on?
Yeah.
And I could get an honest answer.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just liberating.
Yes.
When you're in a position where somebody else has control of your life and your child's life that means so much, so precious to you,
Mm-hmm.
that you put your power in that hand. And it is so important for African women to have African doctors.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
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 Uhuru, DC.
Oh, Conrad. So, Lynn, I'm going to take you up on that challenge. I'm going to donate $300. So we only need 9 more people to donate $300 so we can get to our $10,000 goal. But I want to say too that APDF, the programs that we do, everything that we do is dialectically connected. So the One Africa, One Nation Farmers Market that Comrade Rage leads is connected to our Gary Brooks Community Garden that we put up, the mural that we displayed within that site. We have a beautiful outdoor venue now that we can rent out for, community music events, weddings, outdoors, whatever you want to have, we can have it there. And down the street, we have our state-of-the-art basketball court, which we're going to be having our grand opening on June 17th. So we know we're going to be inviting everybody to that. We have the African Independent Workforce Program that's right next to the basketball court, where we're going to be housing African men and women coming out of the colonial prison system so they can be trained on how to be their own makers, their own entrepreneurs through our GCO kitchen that we're raising money for as well and getting that started. So everything that we do is dialectically connected to each other. So, and you ain't got to worry about, oh, what they did with that money.
Right.
You don't have to worry about that because we show you step by step where the resources go. You know, we've raised $102. We still got that money in the bank, you know, waiting to get this project done. So we don't fool around with the money question. You know where every dollar is spent. We show you step by step the process so you can see where your dollar is going. So I wanted to say those things, and I wanted to challenge, who can I challenge to do $300? You know, come on, comrades. We need 9 more people to do $300 so we can get to this $10,000. We want to leave here saying that we've raised $212,000 towards the $420,000 goal.
Yes.
Yes.
Right. Well, thank you, Deputy Chair, for contributing $300 towards this.
Yes, thank you so much.
Right. Oh, somebody said they accepted the challenge.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, it's Moise.
Thank you.
Mawezi. And Mawezi is the voice of the, if you tuned in at the beginning of this program, is the voice of the video, the beautiful video introducing Uhuru Wakalia to the world. And I just want to salute Mawezi for being the chair of the Hands Off Uhuru, Hands Off Africa campaign.
Yes.
She's doing a fantastic job, and she just got back from Cuba. It's, you know, our movement are filled with African women doing powerful things.
Yes.
All over the world, you know, all over the world. So salute to you, Comrade Mawezi, and thank you so much for everything that you do and contribute to forwarding the liberation of our people. Uhuru. Somebody, all right, Mawezi, call somebody out to, you know.
That's amazing. Yeah, thank you so much. So yeah, I mean, if we had 8 more people to donate $300, we would totally reach our goal.
Come on, y'all.
Yeah, we are currently at $7,102.
Oh, we are so close, y'all. We are so close.
Yeah, let's get this up. Looks like we have another pledge coming in here. Oh
my gosh.
What?
Goodness.
$600?
People.
That's amazing. Yeah, wow.
Wow, way to go, comrade. Oh my gosh.
Who was that? Who was that?
Brandon.
Oh, Brandon. Yeah.
Wow. So yeah, that's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Wow.
Wow, that's amazing. Wow. Yeah, I am almost speechless. Yeah, wow, Brendan, and you know, I just really also want to salute Brendan for being a big role in organizing this Give STL Day webinar and fundraiser. So thank you so much for coordinating.
Incredible, comrade.
Yeah,
oh my goodness.
Yeah, Brandon, you know, he has brought his mother, his grandma, was your aunt. You know, he just brought everybody in his family into the organization. And I just really want to salute Brandon and all the work that he's done. He's taken on everything from cooking. Yeah, he does everything. Everything. It's like, I cook vegan food. You know what I mean? Thank you so much, Brandon. We really, really appreciate you and salute your leadership as well.
Yes, thank you so much.
How many people do we need now? So we got 2, 3, 4. So we need 5 more, right?
Let's see here. Let's see. 6? Right. So 6 more people.
Six more. Okay.
6 more people. Yes. Yeah. Right. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Right. Yes.
Yes.
6 more people.
Call somebody.
Yeah.
Yes.
Call a relative and call 3 relatives and ask them for money so you can get your $300 piece.
Yes.
They give
do
you
it.
$50 a piece. That's 300.
Yes. This African Women's Health Center is just such a profound institution, already. You heard from Grace Jones, who went through the doula training program and is now leading the doula training program for new people coming in. So, I mean, that is just, the health center is not even built yet. And already this doula training program is changing the lives of African people here in St. Louis. And, the Black Power Blueprint, it's called a blueprint because the goal is for that to be replicated around the entire world. So that would be the new norm. I mean, that's the new world. That's the way that it needs to be. And we can make that happen by contributing at givestlday.org/Black Power Blueprint. Let's make this happen. Let's raise this $10,000. Let's get this health center built.
Yes,
today.
let's do it. Let's do it.
Yes. Women in North City, a place to go and find themselves.
Mhm.
You know, when they say, I need to take me some me time. Come
Yes.
to the center.
Yes.
Take some me time. Find yourself and be happy.
And this center is important for young women and femmes who are growing and learning more about their bodies. This is a safe space to do that instead of being subjected to the colonial healthcare system, being forced to make choices that you don't really understand about your body. And this eliminates all of that.
Yes.
Yes, it does.
Uhuru.
Thank you. Yeah.
I'm just.
Let's see. Yeah. Chairwoman Penny, do you have anything else that you would like to contribute? Or not financially, anything that you would like to say?
I just really want to salute Deputy Chair Onozine Shatella, the African People's Education and Defense Fund, Kofi, Rage, Dr. Aisha Fields, Grace Jones. This has been just so profound. And when we just think about, the upcoming African Women's Health Center, it's going to be, just one more institution that really brings power into the hands of the African working class in such a powerful way, along with the basketball court, all the things that Deputy Chair, gave and talked about, the dialectical relationship that she was talking about, the beautiful outdoor garden and the community garden, just the event stage and the programs for people coming out of the colonial prison system, the upcoming Jico kitchen. This is real, beautiful power in the hands of the African working class that is being created. So it's an honor to be here, and we have a lot of work to do in the white community. This is a way that white people can be part of the future, can see, how when just this crisis that this system is in every single day, this is going to be the advent of a real new world again, where everyone can live, no one at the expense of anyone else ever again.
Yes.
So just salute APDF in this powerful event today. Uhuru.
Thank you, Chairwoman Penny. Yeah, so I mean, as we're kind of coming down to the end of our webinar here, I did just want to let everybody know that Give STL Day donations, you can still make your donations all the way until tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Central.
Yes.
And even beyond that, you of course can still donate to the Black Power Blueprint, but we want to meet our Give STL Day goal. So you can go to givestlday.org/Black Power Blueprint. And yeah, that will be open all the way until 10 a.m. Central tomorrow morning. So let's get those donations in.
Yes,
Get
get
'em
them in. Thank you so much to everyone who's tuned
Yes.
in. Thank you to everyone who's donated so far tonight. Thank you to everybody who's gonna donate after
Yup.
this webinar ends. We really appreciate you, and we're winning, y'all.
Yes, we are
Yes,
winning.
we are.
Uhuru.
Uhuru.